Welcome to my YouTube channel called Everyday Manufacturing. So today we are going to discuss on the medical device regulatory process in the United States of the America. We'll be discussing about the key aspect involved in bringing your medical devices to the market in the United States. We'll be covering this lecture into 5 different modules. The first one would be an overview of the classification and the regulatory pathway of medical devices, followed by 510K application process, the de novo request, the PMA application, and the post-approval compliance requirements. Since you must be knowing that the United States of America is the largest economy in the world, with almost 18% of the GDP is spent on the healthcare. Market is projected to reach almost $612.7 billion by 2025. What are the regulatory agency in the US for the medical devices? It is Center for Devices and the Radiological Health, which is CDRH, branch of the US Food and Drug Administration, which is an FDA. In the United States of America, the medical devices are mainly classified as per single classification system, where all the devices are classified into 3 classes: class 1, 2 and 3, where class 1 is the low risk, followed by the medium risk is class 2, and class 3 being the highest risk. Based on the classification of the medical devices, there are different registration pathways to be followed. The first is a pre-market notification, which is 510K. Second is pre-market approval, PMA. Third, the de novo classification request. The last use registration pathway, which is a humanitarian device exemption, HTE, followed by the IDE. First, what you need to do, guys, you need to evaluate your devices on the basis of the intended use. Then determine the regulatory strategy from the initial stages of the devices till the development and find the predicate device availability. The registration pathway should also comply with the USFDA compliance checklist, which is establishment and device listing, notification for the approval, the labeling, the quality system regulation, and the medical device reporting, MDR. What you need to do, you need to go to the website of the USFDA, know your classes of the devices as per the information checklists, find the submission type, the GMP exemption, the applicable regulations, applicable concerns, and the standards. The devices must comply with the general and the special controls that are applicable for the subject devices. Class 1 devices shall comply with the GMP standards, where they are GMP exempted, followed by the establishment registration, the device listing in the full database, UDI requirements. Now, Class 2 devices shall establish substantial equivalence with the predicate device, general and special controls, obtain the pre-market notification from the US FDA, establishment registration, the device listing, and the UDI requirements. Now let's look upon the Class 3 medical device requirement in order to go entry into the US market. So Class 3 medical devices must comply with the following requirement as shown on my screen. The devices are subjected mainly to the submission of the pre-market approval PMA from the US FDA. So hope you must have enjoyed my today's lecture, which was mainly on the overview of the classification and the regulatory pathway of the medical devices. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.